ॐ शिवशक्तिसमारम्भां भास्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मत्श्रीनाथपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ज्ञानिनामपि चेतांसि देवी भगवती हि सा बलादाकृष्य मोहाय महामाया प्रयच्छति दुर्गे स्मृता हरसि भीतिमशेषजन्तोः स्वस्ते स्मृता मतिमतीव शुभां ददासि दारिद्र्यदुःखभयहारिणि का त्वदन्या सर्वोपकारकरणाय सदार्द्रचित्ता सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरि नारायणि नमोऽस्तु ते शरणागतदीनार्तपरित्राणपरायणे सर्वस्यार्तिहरे देवि नारायणि नमोऽस्तु ते सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते भयेभ्यस्त्राहि नो देवि दुर्गे देवि नमोऽस्तु ते रोगानशेषानपहंसि तुष्टारुष्टातु कामान् सकलानभीष्टान् त्वामाश्रितानां न विपन्नराणां त्वामाश्रिताः ह्याश्रयतां प्रयान्ति सर्वा बाधा प्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरि एवमेव त्वया कार्यमस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम् Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay, so we got to do stanzas then 12 to 42. So you can do like 15 each. Let me see here. Anita, can you do half? And then Jyoti ji, you can do half. You can do 12 to 27, Anita.
Yes. ॐ हरिः ॐ सोचिन्तयत्तथा तत्र मम त्वाकृष्टचेतनः मत्पूर्वैः पालितं पूर्वं मया हीनं पुरं हि तत् मत्प्रत्ययैस्तैरसत्प्रत्यैर्धर्मतः पाल्यते न वा न जाने स प्रधानो मे शूरहस्ती सतामतः मम वैरिवशं यादः कान् भोगानुबलप्यस्ते ये ममानुकथा नित्यं प्रसादतनबोधनैः अनुवृत्तं ध्रुवं देत्य अनुवृत्तिं ध्रुवं देत्य कुर्वन्त्यन्यमहीभृताम् असंयक्प्ययशीलैस्तैः कुर्वद्भिः सततं व्ययम् सञ्चितः सोऽधि दुःखेन क्षयं कोशो गमिष्यति ये एतच्चान्यच्च सततं चिन्तयामास पार्थिवः
The Gamishyati first line and the last word is just a short E, okay? So
गमिष्यति
Gamishyati.
गमिष्यति तत्तविप्राश्रमाभ्यासे वैश्यमेकं ददर्श सः सपृष्टस्तेन कस्त्वम्बो हेतुश्चागमनेत्रकः ससोग इव कस्मात् त्वं दुर्मना इव लक्ष्यसे इत्यकर्ण्यवचस्तस्य पूपते प्रणयोदितम्
Second line, first word, Ityakarnya.
Oh, sorry. Ityakanyavachastasya upate pranayotitam.
In some places, in the sha, you're saying sa, like in the first line, first word, sa shoka.
Tashoka iva kasmatvam. Okay. Pratyuvacha satam vaishyav prashrayavanato nrupam. Vaishyuvacha समाधिर्नाम वैश्योऽहम् उत्पन्नोतनिनां कुले पुत्रतारैर्निरस्तश्च धनलोपादसाधुभिः विहीनश्च धनैर्दारैः पुत्रैरादयामेदनम्
Putrair adayame
sorry, विहीनाश्च धनैर्दारैः पुत्रैरादायमेदनम् वनम् अभ्यगतो दुःखी निरस्तश्चाप्तबन्धुभिः सोऽहं न वेद्मि पुत्राणां कुशलात्मिकाम् ततः स्वपुरं यायतो
Pravrityam.
Sorry, page kanam kuch.
24.
प्रवृत्तं स्वजनानां च दाराणां चात्र संस्थितः किं नु देशां गृहे क्षेम मक्षेमं किं नु कथं
Sampratam.
साम्प्रतं
And the second one in the middle word, grihe kshemam akshemam.
क्षेमं किं नु किं नु तेषां गृहे क्षेमं मक्षेमं किं नु
Akshemam.
अक्षेमं किं नु साम्प्रतम् कथं ते किं नु सत्वृत्ता दुर्वृत्ता किं नु मे सुताः राजोवाच यैर्निरस्तोपवां लुप्तैः पुत्रतारादिभिर्धनैः
Yeah, you can stop this.
तेषु किं किं भवदस्नेहमनुबध्नादिमानसं वैश्य उवाच एवमेतद्यथा प्राह भवानस्मद्गतं वचः किं करोमि न बध्नादि मम निष्ठुरतां मनः यैः सन्त्यज्य पितृस्नेहं धनलुब्धैर्निराकृतः पदिस्वजनहार्दं च हार्दित्वेषेव मे मनः किमेतन्नाभिजानामि जानन्नपि महामते यत्प्रेमप्रवणं चित्तं विगुणेष्वपि बन्धुषु तेषां कृते मे निःश्वासो दौर्मनस्यं च जायते किं करोमि किं यन्न मनस्त्वेष प्रीतिषु निष्ठुरम्
Pritishu.
Okay,
Short.
here it's okay. My book is printed. Okay. करोमि किं यन्न मनस्त्वेषप्रीतिषु निष्ठुरम् मार्कण्डेय उवाच ततस्थौ सहितौ विप्र तं मुनिं समुपस्थितौ समाधिर्नाम वैश्योऽसौ स च पार्थिवसत्तमः कृत्वा तु तौ यथा न्यायं यथार्हं तेन संविदम् उपविष्टौ कथाः काश्चिच्चक्रतुर्वैश्यपार्थिवौ राजोवाच भगवन्स्त्वामहं प्रष्टुमिच्छाम्येकं वदस्व तत् दुःखाय यन्मे मनस स्वचित्ताय तदां विना मम त्वं गतराज्यस्य राज्याङ्गेष्वखिलेष्वपि जानतोऽपि यथाज्ञस्य किमेतन्मुनिसत्तम अयं च निकृतः पुत्रैर्दारैर्भृत्यस्ततोज्झितः
Dare Brityais.
अयं च निकृतः पुत्रैर्दारैर्भृत्यैस्ततोज्झितः.
Yeah, I think that's where we stop. Okay, so we'll just do, so I think we did meaning about, uh, yeah, about 45 till that I did. So I'll just quickly recap that. And then the remaining, I'm going to break it maybe into two parts to say the meaning, or maybe we'll do it in one shot. So just to recap, right? So we saw how the king, Suratha, right? He had lost everything he had, but then, and then he left everything, and then he was kicked out of his kingdom. And then he ends up coming to the forest because he really has nothing. But then he's still wondering about how things are in his kingdom, right? He's hoping that the person who's taking care of the treasury is taking good care of the treasury. The person who's taking care of the infantry is doing good. He's worried about his people, whether the new king is taking care of the people properly. He's wondering that all the people who used to work for me, who used to be faithful to me, are now being faithful to somebody else because somebody else is the king. So his mind is still constantly attached to that. And when he's thinking about it, then the Vaishya comes, and the Vaishya is saying, hey, look, then when the king asks him, he says that I used to have a lot of money, but my own wife and children took away that money from me at some point, and I got kicked out of the house. But he says, even though I got kicked out by my family, I still keep thinking about my family. I still keep thinking about my wife. I still keep thinking about my kids. And they both then don't know what's happening. So they then come and meet the Sumedhas. They meet the Rishi who's there. And they tell the Rishi that, oh, Rishi, it's not like we both are stupid people, right? He says, I'm a king. He is a rich man, which means both of us have intelligence. Both of us have wisdom. And we know that we should not be doing this. That is, we know that I should still not be thinking about the past. I know that I cannot go back to the past. I will not get it, but still I can't stop myself from doing it, right? My mind still keeps doing that, right? He says, why is that happening, right? So you got to help me out on this, right? Which is a common problem all of us face. So at this time, this Sumeda's sage Rishi Ruvacha 46, right? So Sumedha, the Rishi Sumeda's answers by saying that he says you keep talking about intelligence or wisdom. He says this wisdom is not just unique to humans, right? You don't think that you are wise alone. You are not the only wise person. He says the animals, the birds, the smallest of insects which are in this world also have intelligence. They have intelligence which is required for them to run their lives, right? So everybody is given enough knowledge and given enough intelligence for them to run their life. He says some, just like how some creatures can only see at night, like bats can only see at night. Sorry, other animals and creatures can see during the day. Some can see during day and night. Each of them have all of this, but all these differences that are there across all these insects and animals and humans and everything, what is the problem? He says is everybody is stuck by two things. Everybody has desires and everybody is attached to things, right? He says that is common for everybody, although people have different levels of wisdom and intelligence, right? And he says that, the, and he gives a beautiful example. He says that the difference between all these animals and humans, he says the birds, if you look at it, even though if the bird is hungry, the mother bird is hungry, the mother bird brings the food in its mouth to go feed the young, right? But the mother bird has no expectation from the young because it knows when the young gets its wings, it is going to leave the mother bird and go. But that doesn't stop the mother bird from feeding it because it does not have any expectations out of that, right? And he gives the examples of the turtles. The turtles also lay eggs. The turtles then have the baby turtles which come out. But all these animals are different from human because they do not still have the desire and attachment to the extent that humans have, right? Because they are somehow not tied. And he says that is the problem that is there. They all kind of, the humans, he talks about how the humans, we are still attached to something even after we lose something, even though we know we should not be attached to it, right? And that's where he gives the examples of the baby birds and all of that stuff. And he says the reason all of this is happening is because this whole, what we call as Maya, he says Mahamaya, the great enchantress who's there, she's even the wisest of people. They are bound by this illusion of who they are and what is theirs, right? So it's me, mine, and everything is centered around us, right? And that illusion which is actually getting created, this Mahamaya is creating that illusion for everybody, which is really the material energy which is there. And because of that, even the greatest and wisest of people are bound by it. So don't think you are great, that don't think you are wise. Even though you are wise, don't be ashamed that you are getting bound by it, because he says you are not unique. Every human, everybody is getting bound by it. So it's nothing that is there, because even the wisest of people cannot overcome this illusion because it is not that easy. So, and then he quickly describes who this Mahamaya is. He talks about the greatness of this Mahamaya. And like we already seen before in all the Devi Kavacham, etc., saying that, it's she is the material energy, the creative force of Mahavishnu, who actually goes and creates all of these things and, creates all the material existence which is there, all the living beings, all the non-living beings. And he says she's the one who binds everybody into this illusion of attachment. At the same time, she's also the one who can free everybody from the binds of attachment by giving liberation. So she kind of plays both of those roles, right? As part of the material energy and the illusion that is actually getting created. I won't go too much into this because there is a lot of what you call, that's all that's there in this Devi Mahatmyam. But I'm just saying is that this whole concept of how you are getting bound into it and why your soul is getting bound is a very, big higher topic out of syllabus for this, right? But at some point we'll talk about it if we get time outside of this, right? But the main thing he's talking about here is that no matter, and I always say this in all my things in Bhagavatam and everything, is I say that when you go and ask somebody, what do you like most? And if anybody says it is not themselves, that means they're lying. That is, if you come and ask me, I'm saying I should say I love me the most. If I say my family, I'm actually lying. The reason for that is I love my family only because my family is connected to me. If my family was not connected to me, then you are like somebody else's family. I love you, but I don't love you as much, right? You look at everything you like. If it is not connected to you, you don't love it as much, right? That is because you love yourself so much that everything that is connected to you is your priority, right? So he says that is because you think you are this body and you think everything that is associated with your body is yours. So that me and the mind is what is actually binding everything, which is the illusion this Mahamaya creates. But in reality, your soul has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with mine. It just will shed the body one day and keep going. It doesn't remember any of this stuff, or it doesn't care about any of this stuff. But while you are here, you are bound to all of this, right? So that is the kind of the attachment or the connection that is there between this. Anyway, so the king then says, okay, you keep talking about this Mahamaya. You're saying all of this is what is it? He says, Bhagavan Kahi Sa Devi Mahamayeti Yam Bhavan. He says, you keep talking about this Mahamaya. Who is she? How does she look? Where does she come from? How is she born? Where is she there right now? He says, tell me all about this, because if you're saying it is because of this Mahamaya, I am getting bound. And if it is only because of this Mahamaya, I can unbind myself. I want to know everything about her, right? So then the sage says, he starts telling that this Mahamaya, it's like when we talk about Narayana and the avatharams, right? It's a very similar explanation. It says she's never born, she's never gone, right? She's always there. She incarnates for various purposes. So just like how you all know about the various avatharams of Narayana, really Devi Mahatmyam, each chapter or most of the chapters is an incarnation of the goddess for various purposes, right? She says, so she incarnates whenever the Devas and others call her for help. So at that point, she incarnates and then she helps them out, and that her role is done. That incarnation is gone. But in reality, she doesn't have a birth, she doesn't have death, and all of that stuff, right? And then he starts talking about the first incarnation of this Mahamaya in the context of Devi Mahatmyam. He says when when Mahavishnu, when the life of Brahma is over and the new life of Brahma is beginning, when there is a complete pralayam which has wiped everything out, which we won't get into this. I think you all have heard it in the Narayaniam classes. But when the pralayam and the new thing is beginning, and when Brahma is saying, okay, how do I now get into the process of creation? So we said that there is a period where nothing is happening. Everything is in a dormant state where the physical manifestation of the universe has not happened. So at that time, it talks about how from the earwax of Vishnu, two demons come. Now, Vishnu does not have earwax, number one, right? And that at that time there is no demon who is going to come. But the context we have to explain here is the two demons which we are talking about here are Madhu and Kaitabha. Madhu means desire, right? So the desire means attractions to anything which is sensory in nature. So it's sweet, right? Madhu means sweet. So it's a sweet means something which you like. So you have a desire for that. And Kaitabha refers to arrogance or pride that you have, the egoistic feeling, the feeling that I am great, right? So the two demons who are really coming are Madhu and Kaitabha. Now, if for us to progress spiritually, if you sit down to meditate tomorrow, if you have a lot of desires coming in your mind, which it will obviously come, you are going to get distracted, right? You can't go towards your goal of spirituality. At the same time, if you have a lot of ahankaram or ego or pride in yourself, then it will continue, because you'll continue to do things which fuel your pride, which will again distract you from spirituality, right? So you kind of keep these two things and think about the context of where Brahma is. So when Brahma has to create, he has to have the creative energy and he has to connect with the supreme consciousness of Vishnu. These are distractions which come. These demons of Madhu and Kaitabha are distractions which are coming to distract Brahma away from the process of true consciousness and true intelligence to actually create. So when that is happening, then Brahma now goes and does a prayer, right? He says these Madhu, these desires, all these attachments of this material world which comes up is all done by this material energy for which, oh Devi, you are responsible. So Brahma does a stuti to Devi in this. which is what we saw in Ratri Sukta, which is Vishweshwarim, Jagaddatrim, Siti Samharakarinim, right? We saw that, right? That is going to come again. This because Brahma is doing a stuti to the Devi to say, please come and remove this Madhu and Kaitabha because they are troubling me and preventing me from focusing on what is important, which is the process of creation, right? So I'll stop there and then we'll continue the last part of this maybe towards the end of the class. Okay, so let's see who I had today. Mridulaji, you can be student and did I have here? Madhu, you can be student. Yeah. So 43. Swajanena cha santyaktaha. Put is santyaktas teshu hardi tatapyati evamesha tathaham cha dvavapyatyanta. That's one word. Dvavapyatyanta dukkithau. स्वजनेन च सन्त्यक्तस्तेषु हार्दी तताप्यति एवमेष तथाहं च द्वावप्यत्यन्तदुःखितौ.
You want me to go?
Mridula ji.
स्वजेन च संत्यक्तस्तेषु हार्दि तथाप्यति एवमेष तथाहं च द्वावम् इत्यन्तदुःखितौ. स्वजनेन च संत्यक्तस्तेषु हार्दि तथाप्यति एवमेष तथाहं च द्वावम् इत्यन्तदुःखितौ.
Dvavap. Dvavapyatyanta. Second line, last one.
Oh, okay. Dvavam, right?
Dvavap, ip, pi. Dvavapyatyanta.
Dvava ityanda dukkhitau.
स्वजनेन च सन्त्यक्तस्तेषु हार्दी तथाप्यति एवमेष तथाहं च द्वावप्यत्यन्तदुःखितौ. स्वजनेन च सन्त्यक्तस्तेषु स्वजनेन च सन्त्यक्तस्तेषु हार्दी तथाप्यति एवमेष तथाहं च द्वावप्यत्यन्तदुःखितौ.
दृष्ट दोषेपि विषये ममत्वाकृष्ट मानसौ तत् किमेतन् महाभाग यन् मोहो ज्ञानिनोरपि. Short e. I will do the next line also. Mamasya cha bhavatyesha vivekandhasya मूढता. दृष्टदोषेऽपि विषये ममत्वाकृष्टमानसौ तत्किमेतन्महाभाग यन्मोहो ज्ञानिनोरपि ममास्य च भवत्येषा विवेकान्धस्य मूढता.
दृष्टदोषेऽपि विषये मम त्वाकृष्टमानसौ तत्किमेतन्महाभाग यन्मोहो ज्ञानिनोरपि ममास्य च भवत्येष्य विवेकान्तस्य मूढता. Excuse me. दृष्टदोषेऽपि विषये मम त्वाकृष्टमानसौ तत्किमेतन्महाभाग यन्मोहो ज्ञानिनोरपि ममास्य च भवत्वेषा विवेकान्तस्य मूढता.
The third line, bhavatyesha.
भवत्येषा, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. भवत्येषा विवेकानन्दस्य.
Okay. Yeah, it's Viveka Andhasya. Viveka,
Okay.
intelligence, Andhasya, blind. Vivekandhasya Mudhata.
Vivekandasya. Thank you.
दृष्टदोषेऽपि विषये मम त्वाकृष्टमानसौ तत्किमेतन्महाभाग यन्मोहो ज्ञानिनोरपि ममास्य च भवत्येषा विवेकान्धस्य मूढता. दृष्टदोषेऽपि विषये मम त्वाकृष्टमानसौ
तत्किमेतन्महाभागयन्मोहो ज्ञानिनोरपि ममास्य च भवत्येषा विवेकान्धस्य मूढता
ऋषिरुवाच ज्ञानमस्ति समस्तस्य जन्तोर्विषयगोचरे ऋषिरुवाच ज्ञानमस्ति समस्तस्य जन्तोर्विषयगोचरे
ऋषिरुवाच ज्ञानमस्ति समस्तस्य जन्तोर्विषयगोचरे ऋषिरुवाच ज्ञानमस्ति समस्तस्य जन्तोर्विषयगोचरे
ऋषिरुवाच ज्ञानमस्ति समस्तस्य जन्तोर्विषयगोचरे ऋषिरुवाच ज्ञानमस्ति समस्तस्य जन्तोर्विषयगोचरे
विषयश्च महाभाग याति चैवं पृथक् पृथक् दिवान्धाः पुट एफ दिवान्दाः प्राणिनः पुट इह हिच प्राणिनः केचित् रात्रावन्धास्तथा परे विषयश्च महाभाग याति चैवं पृथक् पृथक् दिवान्धाः प्राणिनः केचित् रात्रावन्धास्तथा परे
विषयाश्च महाभाग यादि चैवं पृथक् पृथक् दिवान्ताः प्राणिनः केचित् रात्रो
रात्रा
रात्रा वनदास्तत्परे विषयाश्च
sorry, one second.
महाभाग यादि चैवं पृथक् पृथक् दिवान्ताः प्राणिनः केचित् रात्रा वन्दास्तथा परे
Oh, Madhu, you're on mute.
Sorry. विषयश्च महाभागयाति चैवं पृथक् पृथक् दिवान्धाः प्राणिनः केचित् रात्रावन्धास्तथा परे विषयश्च महाभागयाति चैवं पृथक् पृथक् दिवान्दाः प्राणिनः केचित् रात्रावन्धास्तथा परे
केचित् दिवा तथा रात्रौ प्राणिनस्तुल्यदृष्टयः ज्ञानिनो मनुजाः पुट इस् मनुजास् सत्यं किं तु ते न हि केवलम् केचिद्दिवा तथा रात्रौ प्राणिनस्तुल्यदृष्टयः ज्ञानिनो मनुजाः सत्यं किं तु ते न हि केवलम्
केचित् दिवा तथा रात्रौ प्राणिनस्तुल्यदृष्टयः ज्ञानिनो मनुजाः सत्यं किं तु ते न हि केवलम् केचित् दिवा तथा रात्रौ प्राणिनस्तुल्यदृष्टयः ज्ञानिनो मनुजाः सत्यं किं तु ते न हि केवलम्
केचिद्दिवा तथा रात्रौ प्राणिनस्तुल्यदृष्टयः ज्ञानिनो मनुजाः सत्यं किं तु ते न हि केवलम् केचिद्दिवा तथा रात्रौ प्राणिनस्तुल्यदृष्टयः ज्ञानिनो मनुजाः सत्यं किं तु ते न हि केवलम्
यतो हि ज्ञानिनः पुट इस् ज्ञानिनस् सर्वे पशु पक्षि मृगादयः ज्ञानं च तन् मनुष्याणां यत्तेषां मृगपक्षिणाम् यतो हि ज्ञानिनः सर्वे पशुपक्षिमृगादयः ज्ञानं च तन्मनुष्याणां यत्तेषां मृगपक्षिणाम्
यतो हि ज्ञानिनः सर्वे पशुपक्षिमृगादयः ज्ञानं च तनुर्मनुष्याणां यत्तेषां मृगपक्षिणाम् यतो हि ज्ञानिनः सर्वे पशुपक्षिमृगादयः ज्ञानं च तन्मनुष्याणां यत्तेषां मृगपक्षिणाम्
यतो हि ज्ञानिनः सर्वे पशुपक्षिमृगादयः ज्ञानं च तन्मनुष्याणां यत्तेषां मृगपक्षिणां यतो हि ज्ञानिनः सर्वे पशुपक्षिमृगादयः ज्ञानं च तन्मनुष्याणां यत्तेषां मृगपक्षिणाम्
मनुष्याणां च यत् तेषां तुल्यमन्यत् तथोभयोः ज्ञानेऽपि सति पश्यैतान् पतंगान् ing sound patangan chava chanchushu. It's an in sound that comes in the middle there. मनुष्याणां च यत्तेषां तुल्यमन्यत्ततो भयोः ज्ञानेऽपि सति पश्यैतान् पतङ्गाञ्छावचञ्चुषु
मनुष्याणां च यत्तेषां तुल्यमन्यत्ततोभयोः excuse me ज्ञानेऽपि सदि पश्यैतान् पतङ्गाञ्छावचञ्जुषु ज्ञानेऽपि सदि पश्यैतान् पतङ्गाञ्छावचञ्जुषु चञ्जुषु
Tatu, yeah. Manushyanam, it starts with Manushyanam. I think you said the second line again.
oh sorry so
Manushyanam cha yattesham 51.
मनुष्याणां च यत्तेषां तुल्यमन्यत्ततोभयोः ज्ञानेऽपि सदि पश्यन्तान् पतङ्गाञ्चावचञ्जुषु sorry
You know, it's pashyaitan, second line middle word. Pashyaitan.
पश्यैतान् right
Yeah.
thank you
मनुष्याणां च यत्तेषां तुल्यमन्यत्तथोभयोः ज्ञानेऽपि सति पश्यैतान् पतङ्गाञ्छावचञ्चुषु मनुष्याणां च यत्तेषां तुल्यमन्यत्तथोभयोः ज्ञानेऽपि सति पश्यैतान् पतङ्गाञ्छावचञ्चुषु
Khana mokshat. I'm breaking that word. It's it mokshat dhritan mohat pidyamananapi. One word pidyamananapi kshuda manusha manuja vyagra sabhilashaha. Put a is sabhilashas sutan prati short e. क्षणमोक्षादृतान् मोहात् पीड्यमानानपि क्षुधा मानुषा मनुजव्याग्रसाभिलाषाः सुतान् प्रति
कर्णमोक्षादृतान् मोहात् पीड्यमानानभिक्षुता मानुषा मनुजव्याघ्र साभिलाषः सुतान् प्रति कर्णमोक्षादृतान् मोहात् पीड्यमानानभिक्षुता मानुषा मनुजव्याघ्र साभिलाषः सुतान् प्रति
कणमोक्षात् कृतान् मोहात् पीड्यमानानपि क्षुधा मानुषामनुजव्याघ्रसाभिलाषाः सुतान् प्रति कणमोक्षात् धृतान् मोहात् पीड्यमानानपि क्षुधा मानुषामनुजव्याघ्रसाभिलाषाः सुतान् प्रति
लोभात् प्रत्युपकाराय नन्वेतान् किं न पश्यसि शॉर्ट ई तथापि ममता वर्ते मोह गर्ते निपातिताः लोभात् प्रत्युपकाराय नन्वेतान् किं न पश्यसि तथापि ममता वर्ते मोहगर्ते निपातिताः
लोभात् प्रत्युपकाराय नन्वेतान् किं न पश्यसि तथापि ममतावर्ते मोहगर्ते निपातिताः लोभात् प्रत्युपकाराय नन्वेतान् किं न पश्यसि तथापि ममतावर्ते मोहगर्ते निपातिताः
लोभात् प्रत्युपकाराय नन्वितान् किं न पश्यसि तथापि ममतावर्ते मोहगर्ते निपातिताः लोभात् प्रत्युपकाराय नन्वितान् किं न पश्यसि तथापि ममतावर्ते मोहगर्ते निपातिताः
महामाया प्रभावेन संसार स्थिति कारिणा तन्नात्र विस्मयः पुट इह विस्मयः कार्यो योगनिद्रा जगत्पथेः महामाया प्रभावेन संसारस्थितिकारिणा तन्नात्र विस्मयः कार्यो योगनिद्रा जगत्पथेः
महामायप्रभावेन संस्तारस्थितिकारिणा तन्नात्र विस्मयः कार्यो योगनिद्रा जगत्पतेः महामायाप्रभावेन संस्तारस्थितिकारिणा तन्नात्र विस्मयः कार्यो योगनिद्रा जगत्पतेः
महामाया प्रभावेन संसारस्थितिकारिणा तन्नात्र विस्मयः कार्यो योगनिद्रा जगत्पतेः महामाया प्रभावेन संसारस्थितिकारिणा तन्नात्र विस्मयः कार्यो योगनिद्रा जगत्पतेः
that first line, samsarasthiti is sound. Samsarasthiti.
महामाया प्रभावेन संसारस्थितिकारिणा
Mahamaya haresh taya sammohyate jagat jnaninaamapi chetamsi short e devi long e bhagavati hisa महामाया हरेश्चैषा तया सम्मोह्यते जगत् ज्ञानिनामपि चेतांसि देवी भगवती हि सा
Is Bhagavati long?
Longy, yeah.
Okay. Mahamaya Harishchaisha Taya Sammohyate Jagat Jnaninamapi Chetamsi Devi Bhagavati Hisa Mahamaya Harishchaisha Taya Sammohyate Jagat Jnaninamapi Chetamsi Devi Bhagavati Hisa
महामाया हरे चैषा तया सम्मोह्यते जगत् ज्ञानिनामपि चेतांसि देवी भगवती हि सा महामाया हरे चैषा तया सम्मोह्यते जगत् ज्ञानिनामपि चेतांसि देवी भगवती हि सा
First line, second word, Haresh. Ish.
हरे महामाया हरेश्चैषा
Yeah. Balada Krishya Mohaya Mahamaya Prayachati short e Taya Visrujyate Vishwam Jagadetach ich Jagadetach Characharam Balada Krishya Mohaya Mahamaya Prayachati Taya Visrujyate Vishwam Jagadetach Characharam
Halata Krishya Mohaya Mahamaya Prayachati Taya Visrujyade Vishwam Jagade Tatcharacharam.
The Prayachati short e at the end. First line.
I'm sorry.
First line, last word, Prayachati short e.
Okay, thank you. Palada Krishya Mohaya Mahamaya Prayachati Taya Visrujyade Vishwam Jagade Tatcharacharam.
बलादाकृष्य मोहाय महामाया प्रयच्छति तया विसृजते विश्वं जगदेत्तच्चराचरम् बलादाकृष्य मोहाय महामाया प्रयच्छति तया विसृजते विश्वं जगदेत्तच्चराचरम्
Yeah. The second line, second word, Visrujyate.
तया विसृजते Rijyate.
Yeah, you're jumping through that ij sound there. Taya Visrujyate.
तया विसृज्यते विश्वं जगते तच्चराचरम्
Yeah. All right, we'll switch halfway. Lakshmi, you can be a student, and Kavita, you can be a student. 57. Saisha prasanna varada nrinam bhavati muktaye sa vidya parama mukter hetu bhuta sanatani. Long E. Saisha prasanna varada nrinam bhavati muktaye sa vidya parama mukter hetu bhuta sanatani.
सैषा प्रसन्ना वरदा नृणां भवति मुक्तये सा विद्या परमा मुक्तेर्हेतुभूता सनातनी सैषा प्रसन्ना वरदा नृणां भवति मुक्तये सा विद्या परमा मुक्तेर्हेतुभूता सनातनी
सैषा प्रसन्ना वरदा नृणां भवति मुक्तये सा विद्या परमा मुक्तेर्हेतुभूता सनातनी सैषा प्रसन्ना वरदा नृणां भवति मुक्तये सा विद्या परमा मुक्तेर्हेतुभूता सनातनी
Samsara bandha hetuscha ishancha. The hetuscha saiva sarveshwareshwari. Sarva Ishwara Ishwari, the goddess of all the gods. Sarva Ishwara is Sarveshwareshwari. Rajo Vacha Bhagavan Kahi Sa Devi Longi Mahamayeti Yam Bhava. So here is where the king is asking, who is that Mahamaya that we keep talking about? Samsara bandha hetuscha saiva sarveshwareshwari. Rajovacha Bhagavan kahi sa devi mahamayeti yam bhavan.
संसारबन्धहेतुश्च सैव सर्वेश्वरेश्वरी राजोवाच भगवान् काहि सा देवी महामायेति यां भवान्
Third line, first word. Bhagavan.
भगवान् संसारबन्धहेतुश्च सैव सर्वेश्वरेश्वरी राजोवाच भगवन् काहि सा देवी महामायेति यां भवान्
There's a difference between Bhagavan. Bhagavan is Bhagavan, God. Bhagavan is that you call somebody out of respect, saying, "Oh, great sage." So it's say, "Hey, Bhagavan." So that's the difference there.
संसारबन्धहेतुश्च सैव सर्वेश्वरेश्वरी राजोवाच भगवन् काहि सा देवी महामायेति यां भवान् संसारबन्धहेतुश्च सैव सर्वेश्वरेश्वरी राजोवाच भगवन् काहि सा देवी महामायेति यां भवान् महामायेति यां भवान्
Braviti, short E. Katham utpanna sa karmasyascha. Ishancha again. Karmasyascha kim dvija yat prabhava chasa devi long E yat swarupa yadudbhava tat sarvam shrotum ichhami short E tvatto brahma vidam vara. See? I'll tell you everything. That sarvam, I will tell you shrotum. You listen to me. I wish to tell you everything about this Devi, right? So in response to this, he chants the entire, all the incarnations of Devi and everything that's going to follow. Braviti katham utpanna sa karmasyascha kim dvija yat prabhava cha sa devi yat swarupa yadudbhava tat sarvam shrotum ichhami tvatto brahma vidam vara.
ब्रवीति कथमुत्पन्ना सा कर्मास्याश्च किन्द्विजा यत्प्रभावाच सा देवी यत्स्वरूपा यदुद्भवा तत्सर्वं श्रोतुमिच्छामि त्वत्तो ब्रह्मविदां वरा ब्रवीति कथमुत्पन्ना सा कर्मास्याश्च किन्द्विजा यत्प्रभावाच्च सा देवी यत्स्वरूपा यदुद्भवा तत्सर्वं श्रोतुमिच्छामि त्वत्तो त्वत्तो ब्रह्मविदां वरा ब्रह्मविदां
प्रविदिकदमुत्पन्ना सा कर्मास्याश्च किं द्विज यत्प्रभावा च सा देवी यत्स्वरूपा यदुद्भवा तत्सर्वं श्रोतुम् इच्छामि त्वतो ब्रह्मविदां वर
Tvatto, third line, double ittandata. Tvatto Brahma.
त्वद्धो ब्रह्मविदां वर प्रविदिकदमुत्पन्ना सा कर्मास्याश्च किं द्विज यत्प्रभावा च सा देवी यत्स्वरूपा यदुद्भवा तत्सर्वं श्रोतुम् इच्छामि त्वत्तो ब्रह्मविदां वर
Rishiru,
ऋषिर्वाच
oh sorry. Rishiru Vacha Nityaiva Sa Jagan Murtis Taya Sarvamidam Tatham. Rishiru Vacha Nityaiva Sa Jagan Murtis Taya Sarvamidam Tatham.
ऋषिरुवाच नित्यैव सा जगन्मूर्तिस्तया सर्वमिदं ततम् ऋषिरुवाच नित्यैव सा जगन्मूर्तिस्तया सर्वमिदं ततम्
ऋषिरुवाच नित्यैव सा जगन्मूर्तिस्तया सर्वमिदं ततम् ऋषिरुवाच नित्यैव सा जगन्मूर्तिस्तया सर्वमिदं ततम्
Kavita, the Rishiru, she, you are stretching it a little bit. Short she. Rishiru Vacha.
ऋषिरुवाच
Yeah. Tathapi Tat. Samutpattir Ittandata. Pattir Bahuda Shruyatam Mama Devanam Karya Siddhyartam. Break that ma im Siddhyartam. Avir Bhavati Sayada. Avir Bhavati is incarnation. So every time the Devas request for help, she will incarnate. तथापि तत्समुत्पत्तिर्बहुधा श्रूयतां मम देवानां कार्यसिद्ध्यर्थम् आविर्भवति सा यदा
तथापि तत्समुत्पत्तिर्बहुधा श्रूयतां मम देवानां कार्यसिद्ध्यर्थम् आविर्भवति सा यदा तदापि तत्समुत्पत्तिर्बहुधा श्रूयतां मम देवानां कार्यसिद्ध्यर्थम् आविर्भवति सा यदा
तदापि तत्समुद्बुद्धिर्बहुधा श्रूयतां मम देवानां कार्यसिद्ध्यर्थम् आविर्भवति सा यदा
first line
तत्
samutpattir first line try it again
तथापि तत्समुद्बुद्धिर्बहुधा श्रूयतां मम देवानां कार्यसिद्ध्यर्थम् आविर्भवति सा यदा
उत्पन्नेति तदा लोके सा नित्याप्यभिधीयते one word नित्याप्यभिधीयते योग निद्रां यदा विष्णुर जगत्ये कार्णवीकृते one word जगत्ये कार्णवीकृते उत्पन्नेति तथा लोके सा नित्याप्यभिधीयते योग निद्रां यदा विष्णुर्जगत्ये कार्णवीकृते
उत्पन्नेति तदा लोके सा नित्याप्यभिधीयते योगनिद्रां यदा विष्णुर्जगत्येकार्णवीकृते उत्पन्नेति तदा लोके सा नित्याभ्यभिधीयते योगनिद्रां यदा विष्णुर्जगत्येकार्णवीकृते
उत्पन्नेति तदा लोके सा नित्याप्यभिधीयते योगनिद्रां यदा विष्णुर्जगद्येकार्णवीकृते उत्पन्नेति तदा लोके सा नित्याप्यभिधीयते योगनिद्रां यदा विष्णुर्जगद्येकार्णवीकृते
आस्तीर्य शेषम अभजत ब्रेकिंग that ma शेषम अभजत कल्पान्ते भगवान प्रभुः तदा द्वावसुरौ घोरौ विख्यातौ मधु कैटभौ आस्तीर्यशेषमभजत् कल्पान्ते भगवान् प्रभुः तदा द्वावसुरौ घोरौ विख्यातौ मधुकैटभौ
आस्तीर्यशेषम् अभजत् कल्पान्ते भगवान् प्रभुः तदा द्वावसुरौ घोरौ विख्यातौ मधुकैटभौ आस्तीर्यशेषम् अभजत् कल्पान्ते भगवान् प्रभुः तदा द्वावसुरौ घोरौ विख्यातौ मधुकैटभौ
आस्तीर्यशेषम् अभजत् कल्पान्ते भगवान् प्रभु तदा त्वावसुरौ घोरौ विख्यातौ मधुकैटभौ
First line, last word, Prabhuhu.
प्रभुः आस्तीर्यशेषम् अभजत् कल्पान्ते भगवान् प्रभुः तदा त्वावसुरौ घोरौ विख्यातौ मधुकैटभौ
Second time on the first line, Shesham Abhajat.
शेषम् आस्तीर्यशेषम् अभजत् कल्पान्ते भगवान् प्रभुः तदा त्वावसुरौ घोरौ विख्यातौ मधुकैटभौ
Vishnu Karna Malodbhutau. Since coming from the ear wax of Vishnu. Vishnu Karna Malodbhutau Hantum Brahmanam Udhyatau Sa Nabhi Kamale Vishnoho. Put a is Vishnos Stito Brahma Prajapatihi. विष्णुकर्णमलोद्भूतौ हन्तुं ब्रह्माणमुद्यतौ सनाभिकमले विष्णु स्थितो ब्रह्मा प्रजापतिः
विष्णुकर्णमलोद्भूतौ हन्तुं ब्रह्माणमुद्यतौ स नाभिकमले विष्णो स्थितो ब्रह्मा प्रजापतिः विष्णुकर्णमलोद्भूतौ हन्तुं ब्रह्माणमुद्यतौ स नाभिकमले विष्णो स्थितो ब्रह्मा प्रजापतिः
विष्णुकर्णमलोद्भूतौ हन्तुं ब्रह्माणमुद्यतौ सनाभिकमले विष्णो स्थितो ब्रह्मा प्रजापतिः विष्णुकर्णम् अलोद्भूतौ हन्तुं ब्रह्माणमुद्यतौ सनाभिकमले विष्णो स्थितो ब्रह्मा प्रजापतिः
दृष्ट्वा तावसुरौ चोग्रौ प्रसुप्तं च जनार्दनं तुष्टाव योग निद्रां तां taking at that ma ताम एकाग्र हृदय स्थितः दृष्ट्वा तावसुरौ चोग्रौ प्रसुप्तं च जनार्दनं तुष्टावयोगनिद्रां ताम् एकाग्रहृदयस्थितः
दृष्ट्वा तावसुरो चोग्रौ प्रसुप्तं च जनार्दनं तुष्टावयोगनिद्रां ताम् एकाग्रहृदयस्थितः दृष्ट्वा तावसुरो चोग्रौ प्रसुप्तं च जनार्दनं तुष्टावयोगनिद्रां ताम् एकाग्रहृदयस्थितः
दृष्ट्वा तावसुरौ चोग्रौ प्रसुतं च जनार्दनं दुष्टावयोगनिद्रां ताम् एकाग्रहृदयस्थितः
फर्स्ट लाइन प्रसुप्तम
दृष्ट्वा तावसुरौ चोग्रौ प्रसुप्तं च जनार्दनं दुष्टावयोगनिद्रां ताम् एकाग्रहृदयस्थितः
the chog cha sound okay chogro first line
चोग्रौ
विबोध नार्ताय हरेर हरि नेत्र कृतालयां विश्वेश्वरीं जगद्धात्रीं स्थिति संहार कारिणीं. The second line is the first line of the Ratri Suktam. So from here the entire Ratri Suktam repeats. विबोधनार्ताय हरेर हरि नेत्र कृतालयां विश्वेश्वरीं जगद्धात्रीं स्थिति संहार कारिणीं
विबोधनार्थाय हरेर्हरिनेत्रकृतालयां विश्वेश्वरीं जगद्धात्रीं स्थितिसंहारकारिणीं विबोधनार्थाय हरेर्हरिनेत्रकृतालयां विश्वेश्वरीं जगद्धात्रीं स्थितिसंहारकारिणीम्
विबोधनाथाय हरेर्हरिनेत्रकृतालयां विश्वेश्वरीं जगत्धात्रीं स्थितिसंहारकारिणीं विबोधनाथाय हरिनेत्रकृतालयां विश्वेश्वरीं जगद्धात्रीं स्थितिसंहारकारिणीं.
Then you can just skip all the way to stanza 88 because we've already covered all the other stuff in Ratri Suktam already. So we won't repeat it. So go to stanza 88. Have it ready. Rishiruvacha evam stuta tada devi long e tamasi tatra vedasa. Rishiruvacha evam stuta tada devi tamasi tatra vedasa.
ऋषिरुवाच एवं स्तुता तदा देवी तामसी तत्र वेधसा ऋषिरुवाच एवं स्तुता तदा देवी तामसी तत्र वेधसा
ऋषिरुवाच एवं स्तुता तदा देवी तामसी तत्र वेधसा. ऋषिरुवाच एवं स्तुता तदा देवी तामसी तत्र वेधसा.
Vishnoho, put a F. Vishnov prabodha nartaya nihantum madhu kaitabhau netrasya nasika bahu hridayebhyas tathorasaha. Vishnoh prabodhanartaya nihantum madhukaitabhau netrasya nasika bahu hridayebhyastathorasaha.
विष्णो प्रबोधनार्थाय निहन्तं मधुकैटभौ नेत्रास्य नासिका बाहुहृदयेभ्यस्तथोरसः विष्णोः प्रबोधनार्थाय निहन्तं मधुकैटभौ नेत्रास्य नासिका बाहुहृदयेभ्यस्तथोरसः
First line nihantum.
निहन्तुं मधुकैटभौ
विष्णोः प्रबोधनार्थाय निहन्तुं मधुकैटभौ नेत्रास्य नासिका बाहु हृदयेभ्यस्तदोरसः. विष्णोः प्रबोधनार्थाय निहन्तुं मधुकैटभौ नेत्रास्य नासिका बाहु हृदयेभ्यस्तदोरसः.
Harihi Om. We'll stop here today. So just a quick one. I know from next week is Navaratri, right? So you all have learned sufficient from, if you start from what you call Siddha Kunchika Stotram through Devi Kavacham, Argalam, Keelakam, Ratri Suktam, Navakshari, and 90 stanzas of chapter 1, right? If you do this uninterruptedly, even at a normal pace, you should be able to wrap it up in 45 minutes to 1 hour at a learner's pace, I'm telling, right? So you have two choices. I'm going to send a sheet to you because there is a full Devi Mahatmyam happening every single day in the Chicagoland area for all the 10 days, right? I think you all must have got an invite from my house on Wednesday. If you're able to come, please come. And there are a couple of things happening in Buffalo Grove, Northwest suburbs, 3 days, and then and the Hoffman Estates 5, and then I think 5 days it is happening in Naperville, Aurora area, right? So depending on where you are, you could pick. So you have an option of either going to somebody's house every single day. It'll exactly be 2.5 hours. They'll start sharp at 6, get over sharp at 8:30. It'll go at a little fast pace, but at least you'll get a chance to chant through the whole thing. That's option number 1. If you're not able to do that, in your house, 45 minutes, start from Siddha Kunchika Stotram and do until 90 of chapter 1 every day, if you can. It'll be a great opportunity for you to do it for Navaratri, and you'll also become an expert in the process. So it's like kind of a double benefit with that. Okay, so we will not have the class next week. So, but I'm hoping you will do one of these two things, right? Okay, thanks everyone.
Ajeshji, you
Thank
said
you.
Siddha Kunchika Stotram and then from chapter 1 till page
No.
stanza.
Siddha Kunchika Stotram is first, right? And then because if you follow the BPA script, BPA thing, Siddha Kunchika will be first, then it will be
Correct, sir.
Devi Kavacham, Argalam, Keelam, Ratri Suktam, and then the Navakshari, then Yasam, Navakshari, and then chapter 1, right? The BPA, that will be the order.
Oh, okay, sir. From the book. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank
All
you,
right.
sir.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Rajesh.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Rajesh.
Thank you, Rajesh.